Last night's dinner, we made some steak tacos with some Parmesan fries. Everything here is completely homemade, down to the wraps. It just tastes so much better when you make it at home and with love. So I started off by making my sides. So for the guacamole, I just cut an avocado, scooped that all into a bowl, and then I mashed that up well. I don't like loads of lumps in my guacamole, so mine was like this. Then I chopped up some onion and some tomatoes, some garlic, drizzled it in some lime juice, added some salt, some pepper and a little bit of coriander. So give that a good mix together, then set it to the side. Then for my little salsa, I added tomatoes, onions, corn, lime juice, again a little bit of salt and pepper, give that a mix together and I set that to the side as well. Then I got started on making my wraps, so I used around 200 grams of plain flour. I added in about a tablespoon of salt, little bit of baking powder, and then around 70 ml of hot water. So I added the water in bit by bit and was stirring it to make it into a dough. You don't want to pour it all in at once, otherwise it's just going to go mushy. Once it was at the consistency I like, I put some flour on my worktop and I just took the dough out and I kneaded that for a few minutes. So once that was done, you're just going to form that into a ball, put that in a bowl, a dish, wherever, and just cover it up and leave that for about half hour. So whilst I did that, I got started on my chips. So I just cut up some potatoes into fry shapes, added them into a bowl of ice cold water to remove the starch. So I left it in the water for around 30 minutes. And when they were ready, I took them out and patted them dry. You want to make sure there's no moisture left on them so that you can get them very crispy. So get them back into a dry bowl, completely coat them in corn flour. Then we're going to heat up some oil on the stove and we're going to cook them in batches so they don't all clump together. So once they're nice and golden brown, remove those. And then to start on the steak, I heated up some butter, added some garlic, some fresh thyme, seasoned my steak with all-purpose and salt and pepper. Then I put that in to cook. Mine was cooking for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, but it depends how thick yours is. So while the steak's cooking, it's time to get the wraps ready. So I just cut that bowl into 6 equal size pieces. Then you're going to roll them into little balls and just set them in a bowl, a dish, whatever, to the side. Then one by one, we're going to take them and roll them out into little mini tortilla shapes. So you want them to be looking something like this. So then I'm going to get a pan heated up on the worktop and you just want to put a tiny bit of oil, literally just brush it with the smallest amount of oil. Put the wraps in to cook. It'll only take a couple of minutes each side. Flip them over and this is how they should be looking. Then it's time to get it all constructed. So I started by putting my guacamole down first. Then I layered up my steak. I added a little bit of that salsa on. Then I also added a little bit of chopped coriander on top as well. And I decided to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese on mine too. So this is how they were looking. Then with the chips, I added some salt, some pepper, a generous amount of Parmesan cheese and gave that a good mix. Then everything was ready to plate up together. Like I said, having everything made fresh is so much nicer than buying it from the shop. It tasted so good. The steak was so juicy. And those Parmesan fries, I love a crispy chip. Can't go wrong. Let me know if you try this.